Hey guys, so today I'm going to make a hopefully shortish video on the rookie guide. Basically just so you've decided you want to run incursions, you've looked at the other videos I've made, you got a pretty good idea for it, but you have to go through the rookie guide and there's a lot of steps you have to take in order to be ready to join one of our fleets. So this is just a visual representation of what the rookie guide entails and then just a visual guide on how the steps you need to take to get there. So right now I'm on my alt because I haven't set up any of the settings. This is basically just a stock Eve client, not too much modified. So I have to go through and set up all the things so you can see what has to happen in order for you to be ready to do that. So the first thing we have to do is we have to find the rookie guide. So if you're already in the Work to Me Incursions channel, you just have to reload the MOTD and it's right there. So reloading MOTD is a very, very important tool. You basically just go to the cogwheel at the top left of the channel. Just click that, reload MOTD, bam. You can do this in any channel. You can do it in Work to Me Incursions, you can do it in Fleet channel, you can do it in the logistics channels, any of the channels that we run, you can always do that. And that's all the information you need right there whenever you need it. So here's the rookie guide, so we're gonna go ahead and click on that and go through this. All right, rule number one, I do this about half the time, so don't be too sad if you can't do it all the time. Alright, so we've already joined the channels, we're good there. Work to Be requirements, I'm assuming if you've read the other videos, you know that you have to have the logi skills or the battleship skills, etc. Message of the day, we got that. You know how to reload it. This tells all the information that you need, where we are, where we're running, if we actually are running or not. CSPA, if you don't have this fixed yet, you just follow the settings, it's pretty basic. Most people have already fixed this though. Alright, tags, we'll get to that. We have to have an overview that has tags on it. So right now, instead of having an overview set up, or instead of setting up my own overview, I'm just going to ask for an overview. So right here even says, if you don't have an overview that is set to see the stock on the incursion sites, highlight CSD, either create one or ask for one, Work to Me local. So I'm just going to ask, hey, does anyone have an incursion overview? And hopefully someone will reply. Usually they're pretty quick on that. Alright, so in the meantime, we're going to set the rest of the stuff. So let's actually undock so we can get this stuff sorted out. Alright, so audio alerts. Once it decides to load, because my potato computer. Alright, so for the audio alerts, you're going to go right down here, bottom right of your capacitor wheel has options. Click that. Configure ship health alert settings, bam, here we go. So we're going to take the shield alert all the way up to 95. Armor and hold, doesn't matter, hopefully you're not there. Capacitor's at 30. Alright, we're good. So you just close that out and you're done. So the reason why we do that is so that even if you're not paying 100% attention, then you at least get the loud klaxons bleeping in your ears whenever you start to get shot. So even though you're broadcasting for shields late, you're at least broadcasting before you're dead, which can catch people sometimes. But definitely don't rely on that. Alright, the next one is broadcast settings. So for this, we're going to have to be in a fleet. So let's go ahead and just form a fleet with ourselves so we can get this sorted. Alright, so we need to make sure that our broadcast settings are set up. So if we go into, just click the top left right here, we can go into broadcast settings, and in here you can make sure that everything is checked. By default, everything is checked and you can see every broadcast that is made, but sometimes if you've been in dulsec, if you've been in lowsec, if you've been wormholes, whatever, some fleets might make you broadcast, or if you're like a DPS ship, they'll make you check off the armor, capacitor, shields, etc. so you're only seeing targets, or vice versa if you're a logi. For me, I just keep everything because why not? It's not too cluttered. I mean, don't use broadcast targets anyway, so it doesn't really need anything there. But an important thing is that you can change the color for these. So you can change it to whatever color makes sense to you. For me, armor is just red because that's just what makes sense to me. Capacitor is yellow. Target, we don't use that. Warp 2, you can do, I don't know, blue. Align 2, you can do white. Location, don't need that. Spotted an enemy, nope, nope, nope. Shields, do blue. And then the rest we don't need to. All right, you can change these colors to whatever you want. It doesn't really matter too much. You just need to make sure that you have these on your overview so you can see them. Because you need to see a capacitor, you need to see warp 2, align 2, you need to see shield for sure. All right, so we've got that set up. So then we also want to make sure that you can see these buttons down here, because sometimes if you click that, you can't see it. So now you can't broadcast, you don't have the buttons available. So you make sure that you can see these buttons, because that's how you go into broadcast. You need broadcast for shield, capacitor, in position, those three. All right, so how you see these, you can go into the history and you can see them. So you can see that I broadcast for shield, capacitor, and position. Those are the 3 buttons we need to be using. You also want to make sure that this button right here has 4 arrows, because otherwise you have your group, your superiors, or everyone. You want to make sure it's on everyone, because that way, even if you're not in the same squad as the Logi, they can still see your broadcast and you don't die. So you need to make sure that's to everyone. Alright, I think I covered everything. Yeah, looks good. Alright, safety settings. So make sure your safety is always on green. Always on green. Sometimes if you go on PvP, you'll put it on yellow or red. Just make sure it's on green when you come back. It helps you because it does happen that people, like nightmares, are cap chaining, and then you accidentally shoot your cap chain buddy, you get Concord, and you die. And unfortunately, that's not covered by SRP, so you're going to have to replace your ship yourself. So make sure your safety is always on green. Drone settings. Here we are. Here's my drones. So for drones, you want to make sure that you set them to passive and focus fire. You want them on passive because otherwise, if you get shot by the Sancha, they're going to go off and start attacking random ships, and they're going to end up being shot at and killed. So make sure they're always on passive and focus fire. Not too hard right there. For comms, we use TeamSpeak. So before you try to join fleet, before you try to X up, make sure you have TeamSpeak. If you don't have it, you can click the button. It'll get you downloaded, no problem. You can set it up. Make sure that your name matches your in-game name, because otherwise we're going to go through, we're going to notice that your name that we think you are isn't in comms, and we're going to have to try to figure it out. We're going to have to reconcile it. So just make sure your name matches your in-game name. And don't use Corporation Alliance tags. I know you have to use it for like other alliance-based operations, but just not for us. Just put your in-game name. And then push to talk. Make sure you have push to talk. We'll catch you pretty quick if you don't have push to talk, because you'll be hot micing the whole time. Alright, the rest of it is pretty simple. So, joining fleet, all of this stuff, like all of this, is old. So don't worry about any of this stuff. This is the old system. We don't do it in this anyway. We're working on fixing this part to be newer, but don't worry about any of that. Alright, so how do you actually X up then? Well, if you go back to the Work to Be Incursions channel, oh hey, got a whole bunch. Holy cow, that's like 14 of them. Alright, so let's just click one of them. Yeah, let's load it. Alright, so now we've got Miscellaneous tab, which looks like just a bunch of, I don't know what this is. Logi, which I assume would just show you all the Logi ships on field, so if you want to make sure that the Logis are there, or if you need to lock them all up for some reason, that would be what you do. Fleet, I'd assume, would show you all of your fleet members, and then Sancha would just show you, I guess, neutrals and then the Sancha ships. And you can also see that there's this giant tag right here. So if I were to tag something, that's too distant. Alright, let's try to fix that. Shoot, there's no thingamabobbers. Alright. It's only an ibis. I don't care if I die. But yeah, we want the tags here, because how we do it is we broadcast the primaries by using tags. So you need to make sure that the tag is on your overview so you can sort the targets by tag and know who you're supposed to shoot. So I'm going to show you guys what that looks like. There's actually anything at this belt. Yes, there is. Alright, so the tags would just look like that, basically. Pretty simple. Or if you had letters, it would be like that. Alright. So we have tags on the overview. Sounds good. This is actually a pretty sweet overview. I might check this out on my main, because I just have my generic overview like basic that I just created myself, it's kind of lame. But alright, so we have the tags on the overview, that's set up. So let's look at the waitlist. Alright, so if we go through, reload the MOTD, people were talking, you can't find it anymore. Go into the waitlist manager. And this is how you join one of our fleets. Come on. There we go. Alright, so this is what you're going to see. You want to keep this checked if you are new. That lets the FC know that you're new, and he'll go through all the stuff I'm telling you right now just to make sure you've got everything set up, that you're not a safety risk to yourself in the fleet. Poke me on TS. Basically what this means is that when you get invited to fleet, you'll get a poke on our TS telling you which squad you're invited to and that you're invited to fleet. That way, if you have a really long wait, you can just like do some housework, you can watch YouTube, you can watch Netflix, Game of Thrones, whatever you want to do, and that way you don't have to be physically staring at Eve waiting for the invite. You can just have your sound settings set up and then you'll be good to go. Alright, so this is the current wait list. We have X up is empty. These are all the people that have X'd up and are waiting to be sorted. This is our Logi wait list, this is our DPS wait list, this is our Sniper wait list. This is not the people that are in fleet. So if you get into one of these three things, don't think that you are going to be invited right away. You have to get to the very top of this list, and then the next spot for one of these roles that opens up, that's where you get into fleet. So I'd expect for a Logi pilot to wait about an hour, DPS waits about 30 minutes, Sniper waits about an hour for those wait times right now. Alright, so how do we actually get onto this? Well, what you're going to do is you're going to open your fitting. You're going to click Browse. No, you're not going to click Browse, just kidding. You're going to click Save. Then you're going to click Copy to Clipboard, go back into here, paste it, and then enter on waitlist. And bam! There you go. So then you can double check your fit, make sure it's good. If something is wrong with it and the FC will convoy you and tell you what to fix, then don't exit it, because if you X out of it, if you've been sitting here for 15 minutes and you X out, you lose your spot. So if you're in here, you just have a small thing to fix, just go into update, and then you can repost whatever you wanted, and then you keep your same time. So make sure you do that. And then from here, you'll be put into the correct squad, and then you'll be sorted from there, and then you just wait until you get invited. And then once you get invited, you will automatically be in the actual fleet itself. You won't have to wait or do any of that stuff, because the old rookie guide tells you, like we used to do the wait list that I showed you earlier on the thing, used to be in the actual fleet itself. We don't do that anymore. So if you're invited to the fleet, you are on grid, warp to Logi squad commander, start making money. Alright, so broadcast. When do you actually broadcast? Well, you want to click this broadcast shield button anytime you're yellow boxed. So if you've got all the Sancha here on your overview, you see all the red boxes, and if they start yellow boxing you, immediately press that shield broadcast. Even if it's one ship, doesn't matter. Broadcast for shields, because that one ship can become 20 ships really fast. If you are low on capacitor, say you have 20% capacitor because you've been backward turning around, you've been shooting Sancha all day, then just press that button, Bazzies will get to you. The only time you don't press this button is if a specific ship is on grid, they're called the Atunis. You'll know when they spawn because the FC will tell you, and that you just don't broadcast for cap until they're dead. But if you're targeted by them, you need to make sure you broadcast for cap, because they'll drain your capacitor real quick, and you'll be reminded of all this stuff when the wave happens, so don't worry about it too much. Alright, so then when do you broadcast in position? Well, if you broadcasted for cap and you're full on cap now, you can broadcast in position. Or if you were targeted by Sancha and they went from yellow to red and then back to yellow, so you're not being shot anymore, broadcast in position. The reason we have this is because it tells the Logi that you're no longer being shot, and they can cycle the reps off of you and put it onto whoever is now being shot. So, a quick thing we like to say is that broadcast for shields saves you, broadcast in position saves the dude after you. So make sure you're on top of those broadcasts. Another important thing is the line and warp 2 broadcasts, because after you complete a site, the fleet commander will put these align to and warp to up. So you can see it in your actual overview, but they'll go away after a while. But they should be in your fleet history of align to and warp to, so you know where to go at all times, so you can stay with the fleet. All right, roles. So with those tags, we have letters and we have numbers. The numbers are for DPS targets, and the letters are for sniper targets. So we have two different types of ship. We have DPS short-range ships, we have sniper long-range ships. And depending on which group you're in, dictates which tags you're going to shoot. So the DPS is always going to shoot the tags 1 through 9, and then X, Y, and Z are 10, 11, and 12. And then for snipers, you're going to shoot A through I. And then sometimes we'll have it that there aren't any letters on grid. If there's no letters, just shoot the numbers. If there's no numbers, shoot the letters. But always make sure you shoot the tags that are in your group. And then tag J is a special safety tag. You never, ever, ever shoot tag J. The reason why we have tag J is if something goes wrong and we need to fix it, we'll put the last trigger for the next wave as a tag J, just to pause what we're doing, collect ourselves, fix whatever's going wrong, and then continue with the site. Alright, fleet roles. Fleet roles are always in the fleet MOTD, so if you're in fleet and you need to see them, you can just reload MOTD and they'll pop back up. This fleet doesn't have them because I didn't set it up like we usually do, but they're all listed right here. So we have the FC, that's the fleet commander, you guys know who that is. LC is the logistics commander. They make sure the BASIs are cap chaining correctly. They make sure that all that stuff is good to go. The AAA is your sniper and logi anchor. So if you are a sniper ship, you want to find the AAA in the MOTD and then right click their name in the MOTD and then go to fleet, and somewhere in here it'll be add to watch list, and then you could have them on your watch list. But the reason why I'm saying all this is that you want to have the anchor, because the anchor is going to take you where you need to be in the site, so you can focus less on where you need to be and more on shooting and applying DPS and making the sites go faster. So if you're in a sniper, you want to be keep it range, the AAA, 5 kilometers, or if you are new to it, you can do 7.5 just to give you a little more leeway. And if you're a logi ship, then you want to be orbiting the anchor at anywhere between 10 and 15,000 meters, so 10 to 15 kilometers. If you're a DPS ship, you want to find the triple V, they're the short range anchor, and you want to keep it range to them 5 to 7.5 kilometers as well. Then we have the triple D is the drone bunny. So how that works is when you enter the site, you're going to launch your drones. You're going to go to your drones and you're going to click assist, and then another context menu will pop up with all the fleet members and everyone on your watch list. You can go to your watch list and you're going to go to whoever is the triple D that you added to your watch list, and then you can just assign them to them. And the reason why we do that is that all of the light drones are really good at shooting frigates. Your battleship is really bad at shooting frigates. So we have one specific battleship designated to shoot the frigates, and then all of your drones will assist him in killing the frigates. So that way you're doing the most you can by shooting battleships, and your drones doing the most they can by shooting the frigates, and it all works out. Alright, and then the last thing is the MTAC. This is the reason why your Macarial and Nightmare pilots have tractor beams. So if you're wondering why you have a tractor beam on your fit, this is why. And then that's a broken link. Watch list did that. SRP. So here's how SRP works. If you reload your fleet MOTD, there's going to be a corporation in there that you can donate ISK to. So how it works is you donate 10 million ISK and you get 2 billion coverage. Donate 30 and you get 4 billion, donate 60 and you get 6 billion. And all Logi ships have free up to 250 million ISK. So how this works is SRP covers anything that is not your fault. So if FC makes a mistake, if Logi messes up, if CCP messes up, we will replace your ship for you. We'll figure out how much you lost minus how much you got from your loot, and then we'll pay you that much and you can use that to get a new ship. Coverage doesn't work if it's your fault. So if you get concorded, if you take the wrong gate, if you get killed by war targets, don't broadcast on time, stuff like that, that will nullify your coverage and you'll have to replace your ship yourself. But the coverage is also effective from downtime to downtime. So if you pay your 10 million ISK right now, it would go all the way up through downtime. Then once downtime happens, you have to pay again. So it's basically just once per day. Pretty awesome. And then the rest is that. So that's pretty much it. So after all of this is set up, then you're pretty much good to go. To start, you basically just sit in station, wait until you get your poke on TS, and then you'll have the fleet invite, join the fleet, make sure you've got your anchor and your drone bunny set up on your watch list, and then just undock, warp to your Logi squad commander twice, make sure you're at the right site, make sure you have natural phenomenon, ask for gate status, get in there, start shooting your tags, good to go. And the rest is just making money. Alright, so if you have any questions, you can find me in game, send me an email, you can put it in the comments below. If you have any, just ask me any questions if you need them. So thanks for watching, I'll see you guys at some point in the future.